Hello, everyone. Have you ever felt like your voice is trapped inside you? Like you understand every word, but when it's your turn to speak, your mouth just won't move? If yes, then today you are not alone. Today you have me. I'll share my story. And maybe, by the end, you will find a little more courage to share yours too. I grew up fascinated by English. Movies, books, songs. They all felt like a magical world just out of my reach. As a child, I would sit cross-legged in front of the TV, subtitles on, my ears straining to catch every word. I would read English novels with a dictionary beside me, underlining words, whispering their meanings to myself. I understood English. I loved English. But I couldn't speak English. Whenever someone asked me a question in English, I would freeze. My brain would scream the correct answer, but my mouth would stay silent. In school, when teachers called on me, I would lower my head, cheeks burning. I envied classmates who spoke so effortlessly, laughing and chatting in English like it was second nature. I wondered, what's wrong with me? Why can I understand but not speak? It felt like I was standing behind a glass wall, watching a beautiful party I wasn't allowed to join. And it hurt. Oh, how it hurt. As I grew older, English became a bigger part of life. Job interviews, college presentations, traveling, meeting new people. Everywhere I turned, speaking English wasn't just an option, it was a necessity. And every time I would avoid it, I would plan excuses. I would nod, pretending to understand everything. I would text instead of calling. I would stay silent in meetings. My world became smaller and smaller. I missed opportunities, missed friendships. I missed living fully. And worst of all, I started believing a dangerous lie. Maybe I'm just not good enough. One evening, everything changed. I was at a family gathering. My cousin introduced me to a foreign friend visiting from abroad. He smiled warmly and extended his hand, saying, "Hi, nice to meet you." I panicked. I nodded stiffly, muttered something unintelligible, and quickly ran to the kitchen, pretending to be busy. Behind me, I heard him whisper to my cousin, "Does she not speak English?" That one innocent question shattered me. I realized I had two choices: keep hiding or fight back. And somewhere deep inside, a small, stubborn fire lit up. I whispered to myself, "No more. I will find my voice." The next day, I made a promise to myself. I wouldn't chase perfection. I wouldn't wait until I felt ready. I would start. Messy, clumsy, scared, but start anyway. Here's what I did. I spoke one sentence in English every morning. To myself in the mirror, I recorded myself speaking, even though I cringed hearing my own voice. I found online language groups and joined conversations, even if I could only say 2 words. I practiced ordering food in English at cafes, trembling inside but smiling outside. I talked to my dog in English. He was the best listener, never judging me. Slowly, painfully, but surely, words started flowing. Not perfectly, not smoothly, but flowing. And that was enough. Looking back now, I realized that the real magic wasn't in one giant leap. It was hidden in the smallest steps. Every tiny victory was like planting a seed in the garden of my confidence. One day, I attended a small workshop. Everyone was introducing themselves. Normally, I would pray that the time would run out before it reached me. But that day, even though my hands were shaking under the table, I stood up and said, "Hi, I'm Emma. I'm passionate about learning languages." The applause that followed was polite, nothing extraordinary. But inside me, it felt like fireworks exploding. These were not dramatic moments. No TV cameras, no cheering crowds. But inside me, everything was changing. Every small success stitched a new piece into the broken fabric of my confidence. And over time, those stitches grew stronger than the fear that once tore them apart. Small wins are not small. They are the foundation of every big dream. If you are waiting for a huge, aha moment to feel confident. Stop waiting. Your journey will be built brick by brick, small victory by small victory. Celebrate them all, even the messy ones, especially the messy ones, because they are proof that you are not standing still anymore. You are moving, you are living, you are fighting for yourself, and there is nothing more powerful than that. One of the biggest breakthroughs in my journey came from a simple but life-changing discovery. Overthinking was my biggest enemy. Every time I hesitated before speaking, 100 fears rushed into my mind. Is my grammar correct? Will they laugh at my accent? What if I forget the word halfway? And by the time I finished worrying, the conversation had already moved on. I wasn't just fighting English. I was fighting my own mind. One day, I read something that hit me like lightning. Speak before fear has time to grow. From that moment, I made a new rule. No thinking, just speaking. If someone said, "Hi, how are you?" I answered immediately, without crafting a perfect sentence. If I had to ask for directions, I didn't rehearse a speech in my head. I just walked up and spoke the first words that came out. Even if it was messy, it felt like jumping into a cold swimming pool. Shocking at first, but once you were in, thrilling. I fumbled. I mixed words. I forgot simple vocabulary. But something beautiful happened. People understood me anyway. They didn't care about my mistakes. They cared about my courage. And the more I practiced speaking without overthinking, the easier it became. The words started flowing. Not perfectly, but naturally. Speaking English became less about fear and more about connection. If you are stuck in your head, dear listener, I invite you to try this. Next time, when you have a chance to speak English, jump. Don't dip your toes. Just jump. You will be surprised how far you can swim once you stop standing at the edge. I used to chase this shimmering, golden idea called fluency. In my mind, fluency meant speaking English perfectly. No grammar mistakes. No hesitation. Native accent. I imagined a day when English would roll off my tongue effortlessly, like water flowing from a mountain spring. But the more I chased perfection, the more miserable I became. Every mistake felt like a failure. Every pause felt like proof that I didn't belong. Until one day, I had a conversation with an old man in a park. He was originally from France, living in my city for years. His English was far from perfect. Heavy accent, mixed up tenses. But he spoke with such warmth, humor, and joy that everyone loved him. People leaned in when he spoke. They laughed at his jokes. They connected with him, not because he was grammatically flawless, but because he was fearlessly himself. That day, it finally clicked for me. Fluency is not about perfection. It's about connection. It's about sharing your ideas, your emotions, your life, even through broken sentences. It's about courage, not grammar, not vocabulary size, not accent. I stopped chasing the impossible dream of being perfect. I started chasing real conversations, real connections, real life. And ironically, the moment I stopped obsessing about fluency, I started becoming more fluent naturally, because my heart was finally free to speak without fear. All right, my dear listener, you shared my journey, walked with me through the valleys of fear and the mountains of hope. Now it's your turn. It's time for your journey to begin. I know, it can feel overwhelming. When you think about speaking English, maybe your heart beats faster. Maybe your mind fills with doubts. I am not ready. I will make mistakes. What if people laugh at me? I felt all of that too. And let me tell you something powerful. You don't have to feel ready to begin. In fact, almost nobody ever feels ready. You begin anyway. You begin scared. You begin unsure. You begin small. But you begin. Because action, tiny, messy, brave action, is how you build the confidence you're dreaming of. And today I want to walk you through a simple, real, doable plan to start speaking English from wherever you are, however you feel right now. Forget long speeches. Forget perfect grammar. Focus on just one small, brave sentence. Every single day. Challenge yourself to say one sentence in English. Just one. You can say it. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could be as simple as, "Today is sunny and beautiful. I am learning something new. I feel nervous, but I'm proud of myself. Imagine this. One day equals one sentence. 1 month equals 30 sentences. 6 months equals hundreds of sentences. Little by little. Without even realizing it, you're building fluency inside your muscles, your breath, your mind. Speaking a language isn't about knowing thousands of words first. It's about starting with what you have and using it boldly. Because every time you speak, no matter how small, you're telling your brain, "This is who I am now. I am a speaker." When I was learning, one thing that helped me a lot and made me laugh at myself was talking to objects. Yes, really, I talk to my coffee mug. You're filled with hot tea. Thank you, mug. My door. I am opening you to start my day. My shoes. Hello, shoes. Today we will walk bravely. It sounds crazy. It feels silly, but it works. Why? Because you stop waiting for conversation partners to appear magically. You create your own practice opportunities all day long. Every object, every action becomes a chance to practice vocabulary, thinking, speaking. You stop studying English. You start living English. And living English is how you truly, deeply, powerfully learn. This is one of my favorite tricks. Instead of fearing mistakes, I decided to celebrate them. I made a rule for myself. If I don't make at least 5 mistakes today, I didn't try hard enough. Mistakes meant I was speaking. Mistakes meant I was growing. Mistakes meant I was alive. Imagine if every time you forgot a word, or used the wrong tense, or said something awkward, you threw a little party in your heart. Yay! Another mistake. I'm learning. It changes everything, because suddenly, fear becomes your friend. Failure becomes your fuel. And trust me, when you stop being afraid of mistakes, your English grows 10 times faster. You don't have to do this alone. One of the best things I ever did was finding a small, safe community where making mistakes was not only accepted, it was celebrated. Look for English-speaking clubs, online or offline language exchange apps, WhatsApp groups, online forums. For English learners, find a place where people cheer for your attempts. People correct kindly, not cruelly. People remind you that you are doing something brave, not something stupid. Language is connection. You need people to connect with. And when you find your tribe, even if it's just 1 or 2 supportive friends, your courage will double. Your heart will heal faster, and your journey will feel lighter, warmer, easier. Here's a secret I wish someone had told me earlier. Confidence is not a requirement. It's a result. You don't get confident before you speak. You get confident because you speak. You don't feel brave before you try. You feel brave after you try. It's like walking through a dark forest. You can stand at the edge forever, waiting for the fear to go away. Or you can take one trembling step forward and realize that the forest wasn't as scary as it looked. The same is true for speaking English. The more you speak, the easier it gets. Not because fear disappears, but because you become stronger than your fear. So don't wait for a magical moment when you finally feel ready. It doesn't exist. The magic is in your first clumsy, courageous step, and then the next, and then the next. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be willing. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be brave. You don't have to be ready. You just have to start. Your journey begins the moment you open your mouth, trembling, stumbling, smiling, speaking. And trust me, a year from now, you will look back at this very moment and whisper to yourself, "I'm so glad I was brave enough to try." So what are you waiting for? Your first brave sentence is waiting inside you right now. Let it out. The world needs your voice. You know, I used to believe that my voice didn't matter. I thought I wasn't ready to speak. I thought my English wasn't good enough. I thought I needed to be perfect before I could even open my mouth. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Do you ever catch yourself thinking, Who am I to speak in English? What if I sound silly? What if people judge me? I used to feel exactly the same way. But let me tell you something now, and listen closely because it's crucial. Your voice matters. I know it's easy to believe that it doesn't. It's easy to stay silent because of fear, because of perfectionism, because of doubt. But I want to say this loud and clear. Your voice matters more than you think. Let's go back to something we talked about earlier. One brave sentence a day. Remember how I told you that it doesn't matter how small that sentence is? It's not about the size of the sentence. It's not about how perfectly it fits into the conversation. It's about the fact that you spoke. Every sentence you speak, no matter how simple or imperfect, is an act of courage. Every time you choose to say something in English, you are sharing a piece of your soul. And every time you do that, you are reminding yourself that you belong. You are enough. Because, let me tell you something, your voice, your thoughts, your ideas, they deserve to be heard. Why? Because it gets you used to speaking. It gets you used to saying something in English, no matter how small. It teaches you that every sentence matters. And the more you say, the more your voice starts to fill the space around you. You stop waiting for perfect moments and start finding practice in everyday life. Every word you say becomes a building block. Every time you speak, you are strengthening the bridge between you and your English-speaking world. It's all about consistency. It's about using every moment, no matter how mundane, to practice and empower yourself. You know, I've said this before and I'll say it again because it's so important. Mistakes are your friends. I used to fear making mistakes. I thought that if I messed up, it would mean I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't a real speaker of English. But the truth is, mistakes are the proof that you are trying. Mistakes are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you are stepping out of your comfort zone and taking brave action. When you make a mistake, and we all do, every single one of us, you are saying, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm improving. Remember, if you don't make mistakes, you are not pushing yourself hard enough. So make mistakes. Celebrate them. Let them remind you that you are on the right path. You've heard me talk about finding your safe community, right? The people who will support you, cheer for you, and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Your tribe matters. When I first started speaking English, I didn't feel alone because I found people who were on the same journey. They encouraged me when I was nervous. They corrected me gently when I made mistakes. They reminded me that we are all in this together. Having a tribe isn't just a nice idea. It's essential to your success. So, whether it's a WhatsApp group, a language exchange app, or a small circle of friends who are also learning, find your people. Your tribe will become your support system, and they will help you grow faster than you can imagine. When you speak English in a safe space, you give yourself permission to be yourself, mistakes and all. You might be waiting for a moment when you finally feel ready to speak, when the stars align and you are perfectly prepared and everything falls into place. But listen to me, friend. That moment will never come. You will never feel 100% ready. And that's okay, because you don't need to. Feel ready to speak English. You just need to start. Remember how I told you to take small steps? Start with one brave sentence. Start by talking to your environment. Start by making mistakes. And soon, those small steps will turn into huge strides. One sentence will lead to 5. 5 will turn into 20. And before you know it, you will be speaking more confidently than you ever thought possible. Here's the thing. Your voice is unique. It has power, and the world needs to hear it. English isn't just a tool for communication. It's a bridge to connect with people around the world. It's a bridge to express your ideas, to tell your stories, to share your dreams. Every time you speak in English, you are telling the world, I am here. I matter. I have something to share. Your voice might be quiet now, but with every word you speak, you amplify it. And the more you speak, the stronger it becomes. You don't have to speak perfectly to be powerful. You don't have to be flawless to be heard. You just have to speak. Because the moment you speak, You claim your place in this world. The moment you speak, you tell everyone, including yourself, I am worthy. I belong. And I want you to hear me now. Your voice matters. Your words are important. Your ideas are valuable. And the world is waiting to hear them. So don't wait for perfection. Don't wait for courage. Don't wait for the right moment. Start speaking today. One sentence at a time. One mistake at a time. One step at a time. And remember, my friend, every time you speak, you get closer to the person you are meant to be. You are worthy of speaking. You are worthy of being heard. And your voice, it matters more than you will ever know. Before I say goodbye for today, I want you to hold on to this truth. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not alone. Learning a language is not a race. It's a journey. A messy, beautiful, courageous journey. There will be days when you stumble. There will be moments when you want to give up. There will be voices, inside and outside, telling you that you are not good enough. Ignore them. Remember, every word you speak is a victory. Every sentence you try is a triumph. Every fear you face is a sign of your growing strength. I believe in you. I believe in the power hiding inside you, waiting for the moment you dare to let it shine. So go ahead. Mess up. Forget words. Laugh at yourself. And then keep speaking. Keep dreaming. Keep becoming. Because your journey matters. Because you matter. This is Emma, your companion on this imperfect, beautiful journey, signing off with love, hope, and endless belief in you. Until we meet again, keep shining, keep speaking, keep living fully.